Now, you might know him as a comic, a musician, even a dancer, but Bill Bailey has added another string to his bow as a bird watcher.
He's auctioning 2 of his original drawings to raise funds for the protection of the swift, a bird which has seen its population fall by nearly 70% over the last 30 years. You are a talented man, Mr.
Well,
Bill
that's
Bailey.
very kind.
Morning.
They're really lovely. How long did they take to do?
Probably over a course of about 2 weeks. But I mean, I sort of go back to it and sort of probably, you know, a couple of hours a day. So it takes me a while.
When do you know it's done?
Well, that's it, really. I mean, I have to try to back off at one point, because you think if you keep tinkering with it, you sort of think, oh, I might ruin it. I start with the eyes. That's the thing. But when you're drawing birds, I think you want to get the expression. So
Interesting you say that, because we were just discussing it. We will all be familiar with seeing maybe a swift as that kind of distinctive shape like that.
Yes.
I'd never really noticed their faces before.
No, they've got very expressive faces, but you tend not to see them because what you tend to see them is them just hurtling overhead, you know, just sort of whizzing across the rooftops. Yeah, amazing things. There they go. Look.
Where's the love of them come from?
I think the thing is, for me, they're like the iconic bird of the British summer. When they come back from Africa, it heralds the start of summer. They come in sort of like April, about springtime, and when you hear them this kind of keening sound that they make, this high noise. It's called screaming
It
parties.
sounds like screeching to
It
me.
does. It's screeching.
Yeah.
Like that. And they're like sort of, you know, nature's jet pilots. They're fantastic birds, amazing flyers. They fly like something like 2 million miles in their lifetime.
I think it's something like the amount of flying they do, they could go to the moon and back 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bonkers,
I know.
isn't it?
They're incredible.
Yeah.
In fact.
No, it was in my briefs.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I just read my... look at me reading my briefs.
No, that's good though. Yeah, you see, you've done it.
Wait, do you ever, like... I know you love the Swifts, but do you ever... I think we've got a live cam, a webcam. Let's have a look. Here you
Right.
go. This is live of a swift
wow.
in a swift nest. I don't know if you've seen that. I'm sure... And you know these nature reserves, they're often online.
I mean, that's brilliant. It's fantastic. And the thing is, this is why they're coming back to this country to find places like this. And putting up swift boxes is a great way you can help swifts. Building a swift brick into new builds is another great way of doing that.
How do we segue from swifts to stand-up?
I don't know, some sort of fleet of foot, some sort of, you know, flight of fancy. I don't know.
There we go. Because you're going out on tour.
Yeah, I'm on tour in the summer. I'm doing the last leg of my Thoughtify tour, which was in the West End for a bit, and it's been to 25 countries already. So
that's like a swift.
It's quite well travelled. Yeah.
Haven't you been learning loads of different languages? Like you, and when you say Bill was learning the bagpipes
The
as well.
bagpipes. You learned the bagpipes for the show?
Yeah, that's right. Well, actually, I was on Have I Got News for You? And they said, oh, can you play the bagpipes on this? Have you ever played them before? I said, no. And they said, all right, we'll give you a little tutorial in the afternoon. And I sort of managed to pick it up. And so I thought, actually, I really like playing them. I really sort of... I've got a kind of facility for music instruments anyway, so I went and got myself a set, and now I've taught myself the bagpipes. It's quite a tricky one to
Your
practice.
neighbours must
Where do you
love
practice?
Yeah, I tend to sort of take them out, you know, put them in the car and go off into the countryside.
Drive as far as you can.
But you've also learnt languages, different languages.
Well, I just love languages. I think languages are I just like the sound of them. I love to try and learn a language if I go to another country. And travelling around the world, of course, you know, you tend to pick up little bits of each language. But I just think it's quite, apart from anything else, it's an exercise. It's an intellectual exercise. It sort of activates the brain. There's all sorts of research that says that if you speak another language, it kind of helps you with your own language. Your own articulacy improves as a
We had a brilliant item on the show yesterday about people that were in a care home and they were living with dementia, but they were learning Italian, and it was making such an incredible difference.
Triggering other...
because it does something to the brain. So,
That's right.
That's absolutely the
there's
point.
part of the brain which where you're learning a new language. It sort of it encourages all sorts of other things, all sorts of facility.
What's a Thoughtifier?
Thoughtifier. Well, I thought, you know, I love to try and think up a new name for my tours, as you know, Naga. And Thoughtifier is a combination of words. I thought, you know, because I love to create new words, and it's like amplified thought, if you want. You know, thoughtifier, amplifier, and thought together. It's a sort of a compound word, which is basically what comedy is. You know, you take the abstract nature of the absurdity of daily life and you sort of amplify it.
And the interaction you're going to have with your audience, is it more than you have done before?
I think so. Yeah, this show is such a lot of fun to perform, and I mean, I can't wait to kind of get on the road again just for this summer, because I've got little bits of kit in the show where I get the audience to play the drums using these sort of they're bits of kit that allow people to create beats, and we've got people singing, people joining in, people singing sea shanties. You know, it's a lot of fun for an audience as well. Oh, what's going on here? Also, oh, that's me playing the handpan.
Man of many talents. You ever going to grow your hair again?
Hey? No, I quite like the short hair.
Oh, it looks lovely.
I sort of, you know, especially now in the hot weather, it's great.
We talk loads about AI on this programme, about, you know, regulation, but also, you know, kind of how we harness the power of it for good and make sure that, you know, we do it in the right way. That's a big element of the show as well, isn't it? About...
Well, yeah, I mean, I started to... that was a sort of initial thought about to explore, because I think there's a bit of a panic around AI. Certainly a lot of concern in the world of the arts. You think, is this going to replace, you know, the artistic process? But I think, actually, that what this show is about very much is celebrating human ingenuity, human achievement, music, all of the language, and really what the show is this interaction between an audience and a performer. You can't replicate that with AI. This is something that it will never be able to replicate. So it's almost like a celebration of what is human, really.
Fight back against AI. We like that. Good.
It's been lovely having you on the sofa.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Always, thank you.
No,
and
thank
it seems so lovely just to be surrounded by...
Calming.
Oh, I know. This is lovely, this montage.
Just for you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
It's beautiful.
Bill Bailey, thanks very much. We'll be back with the headlines at 8 o'clock. Find out what's happening wherever you are.